Discretion is advised.
We begin with breaking news, a heartbreaking story in the city. A mother walking with a baby in a stroller is shot and killed. It's happened on the south side. Police say she was not the intended target. NBC5's Katie Kim joining us now live at 63rd and Calumet with much more. Katie?
Allison, a relative at the scene, just told me the victim is a mother of a newborn and 3 other children who recently relocated to this area. That relative also adds she was enrolling her kids in school today, possibly right here at Dulles, when tragedy struck. This happened around 3:30 in the afternoon on the 6300 block of South Calumet. Police say 2 males approached foot and fired shots in what is likely a gang-related shooting. Bullets hit a 32-year-old woman who was pushing a child in a stroller at the time. Police say a relative took custody of that child. Now, the woman who was shot in the head and arm died at the hospital. A relative and family spokesperson tells me the woman moved here only 4 months ago and the family is devastated.
She just loved God, she loved her family, and just come like everybody else out there, just wanted to have a better life, live a better life, you know. And this is tragic because now it's struck home with us, but I mean, something's got to be done. This has got to stop.
Chicago police say a man is being questioned in this case, but as you can see, several police officers are still on the scene and the investigation continues. We are live from 63rd and Calumet. Katie Kim, NBC.
Heat star also dealing with a family tragedy. Dwayne Wade's cousin was the victim of a deadly shooting in Chicago. Police say she was pushing a stroller when 2 men opened fire, hitting her in the head and arm. Detectives believe the mother of 4 was an innocent bystander. The NBA star sharing his feelings about the situation on Twitter, saying, "My cousin was killed today in Chicago. Another act of senseless gun violence. 4 kids lost their mom for no reason. Unreal. Hashtag enough is enough." Wade joined the Chicago Bulls last month after spending his first 13 seasons with the Miami Heat.
Updating you now on that breaking news involving a shooting that involves a Chicago Police Department employee on the city's west side.
Jessica D'Onofrio is live near 13th and Sawyer in the North Lawndale neighborhood. Jessica, what have you learned?
Well, Ben and Tanya, police are not releasing a lot of details, and I can show you right here. We are being kept back away from the scene. Police will only say that they responded to an armed robbery here at 13th and Sawyer, and that this involved a 57-year-old civilian employee of the Chicago Police Department. Here is what we also know from a source. That civilian was approached by 3 men who tried to rob him here. It happened just before 6 o'clock this morning. That civilian, that employee of the Chicago Police Department, shot one of the men. No word on what that man's condition is, but he was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital. The victim, we understand, was not hurt. The 2 other men involved in this armed robbery, they tried to drive away. They got as far as Roosevelt and Kedzie, where they were taken into custody inside a McDonald's parking lot. Now, back here live, police are confirming that the possible suspects have been found, but again, they are releasing very few details in this case. Of course, we'll keep you updated on this developing story. Back to you, Tanya.
Controversial Georgia pastor accused of child molestation. The GBI says 56-year-old Kenneth Adkins of Brunswick turned himself into authorities today. Adkins has stirred controversy for making fun of the LGBTQ community and for recently saying on social media that the victims of the Orlando nightclub shooting, they got what they deserved.
It's not about the LGBT community that you have to be concerned about. It's the child molester. And if he's guilty, he should be punished accordingly.
Kenneth Atkins is not guilty. These charges are unfounded. And he is confident that when he gets his day in court, that he will be cleared of any wrongdoing.
Atkins is also an outspoken supporter of North Carolina's controversial bathroom bill.
A very disturbing update now on the case of Brittany Drexel, who you might remember the name as a teenager who went missing while on spring break in Myrtle Beach. Well, this week, an FBI agent by the name of Garrick Munoz first detailed the account of what investigators think happened to 17-year-old Drexel after she disappeared back in 2009. He says that an inmate in prison says Drexel was abducted, gang raped, shot to death, and then her body tossed into an alligator-infested swamp. His account was contained in a federal court transcript that was obtained by the Post and Courier in Charleston and is based off of a statement from a prison inmate who claims he was actually present when Brittany Drexel was killed. But a McClellanville woman whose husband and son have been implicated by this inmate says the story is just a bunch of craziness that was adopted by federal authorities to try and solve this case.
People downcast in despair see the disillusion everywhere, hoping their bad luck will change. It's a little harder every day. People struggle, people fight for the simple pleasures in their life. The trouble comes from everywhere. It's a little more than you can bear. Know that it will hurt, and know that it will break your heart, the way things are and the way they've been, and the way they've always been. People shallow, self-absorbed, see the push and shove for their rewards. Mighty minds on their minds. See the fire in their eyes. People ruthless, people cruel, all the damage that some people do. Full of hatred, full of pride. It's enough to make you